Welcome to Bituminous Kole. Recent videos have featured tributes to fallen flags, railroads that have disappeared through corporate mergers. The locomotives and rolling stock gets repainted, and when its life cycle ends, these items get scrapped. Other physical plant disappears too over time. Most of us can name and lament a station that ended with demolition. Today's show features Pennsylvania Railroad position lights at C.P. Dale in Indianapolis. I kept a vigil for these structures until they met their fate. Not to worry, this isn't just a video of light poles. There are trains too. So, let's go to the Pennsylvania Railroad position lights. Let's go to the trains. Let's start with a map to orient you. C.P. Dale is located south of downtown Indianapolis, south of Interstate 70. The Pennsylvania Railroad position lights were north and south of the Beltline, protecting the crossing. There had also been Dwarf signals, ground-mounted lights east and west of the former Pennsylvania tracks. The videos I'll show you today will start with before and end with after. Unfortunately for the before shots, I had no idea I was nearing the end of the era of Pensy position lights in Indianapolis. I was just shooting video of cool trains at a cool location. Now, had I known, I would have shot a lot more and a lot differently. Well, take this clip for example. I was focused on those gorgeous red and white locomotives crossing the diamond. Classic railroading shot. From 120 feet in the air and being focused on the train, I missed this blob on the ground. That blob sits next to the Dwarf signal and houses the base for the new signal tower that will replace the Dwarf signal. Didn't see it at the time. Caught it later. Oh, the Indiana Railroad's locomotives are gorgeous, are they not? As I recall, this was a pretty fine day of shooting. It looks miserably cold, but it really wasn't. Mainly, this was January 3rd. We were pretty used to some miserable cold. At that point, you get to 40 degrees and it feels like heaven. There's that Pillsbury car, fourth behind the locomotives. Rusted. Oof. Oh, almost got a power line there. Slav. Anyway, this was still some great stuff. Seeing the Avon turn bypass the belt and go north up the former Pennsylvania on CSX. And keep in mind, this is a weird... Well, there's what I didn't see at the time. The position light and, in fact, the new base was already installed. Had no idea. Yeah, in retrospect, you can see them. Well, this is one of those weird areas where former Pensy did not go to Norfolk Southern. This went to CSX with the breakup of Conrail. Just one of those strange places. Most unusual. Downtown Indianapolis in the background. Madison at the left. And the Bates-Hendricks neighborhood, now above the train. The park there, Sexton Park, a terrific place to set up and shoot a train from. I'm always looking for a parking lot, rather than parking on the road where my car might get dinged or any such thing. So I like Sexton Park right there, right at trackside, and as it turned out, a very useful thing when chasing the final days of the position lights, because it was just a short walk over to the position light. Now looking easterly down the belt, easterly towards East Street. And there goes the Avon turn. Lucas Oil Stadium at the left, and the downtown Indianapolis skyline to the right of the train. So now I do a little bit of a flyover, looking at the belt and the interlocking from a variety of directions. And in so doing, we can point out the locations here of the Pennsylvania position lights, which are still standing at this point. C.P. Dale, there's the diamond. I'm about 130 feet in the air by this view. But it lets you capture all the trackage, the two turnouts and the diamond. And even at this elevation, you can see the other position light. There's the, I'm illustrating at the base of it. There's the position light still standing. We're pivoting from a southerly view to a westerly view now. This is a little tougher to see, but we can make out the dwarf light and that lightly colored blob that's within the ballast. Yeah, there you go. There's the dwarf light. But that concrete blob that's there is what houses the new light pole's base. So this footage was from January 3rd. Everything old is as it had been for decades, but the groundwork was laid for changes. Next videos, revisiting the same location on February 11th. Things are unchanged, but there are some closer looks at the dwarf signals that I'd like to show you as viewed from East Street, while the Louisville and Indiana repositions itself towards the Indiana Railroad Senate Avenue Yard. I'm in the area of CP Dale, and I've been told again that these Pennsylvania Railroad position lights are on borrowed time. Borrowed time. And interestingly enough, come here to look at the signals and not catch a train. And there's a train! I got a headlight. Well, I guess I'll set up the gear and catch it then. Well, that's a good problem to have, isn't it? The train's coming. We shoot train videos. It's good. It's real good. You know, normally I'm all about the drone shots, but this one I really found poignant. The old position lights standing sentinel with the new guard right next to it and above it, and the shadow being projected onto the auto racks. I really like this shot. Well, that was a pretty great long train, CSX M688. Runs daily on the LIRC. And day after day, the Pennsylvania position light looked over it. After it passed, I took a look from both directions down the track. And you can see this has the approach signal. This is looking northerly. And just like the one on the other side, the replacement stood right next to it. One thing some of the railroaders told me was that the position lights were a little bit hard to see. And I did, in fact, struggle. I'm using a drone, so I can move around, but I struggled to find the right place to see the lights very clearly. And you could tell from that view that the new lights are much higher, maybe 4 or 5 feet higher than the position lights were. And I'll imagine that accommodates the modern locomotive better. Those position lights may have been on the order of 100 years old and correlated probably to steam locomotives more so than today's diesel locomotives and their heights. Just a thought. I take a periodic look to see if the position lights are still here. They are. It is Friday, March 27th as of this check-in, and that red light glows another day. Well, this is the Avon turn, returning from Avon and CSX to the Indiana Railroad and the Senate Avenue Yard. And yeah, there's the drone going up. And here's what the drone caught. Friendly engineer gave us a wave. The Avon turn was not done moving yet, though. The train in that video was moving southerly. It has to move around CP Dale through the turnouts in a backing move to position itself to be facing westerly. And here's how we know the end was really drawing near. I'll freeze here to see the replacement tower that's up. It replaced the Dwarf lights. And now that the backing move is complete, it proceeds forward across the diamond at CP Dale in a westerly direction. And apparently CSX had opened up the slot because right behind the Avon turn of the Indiana Railroad, we had the LIRC, the Louisville and Indiana, ready to proceed to Senate Avenue Yard as well. At the beginning of this presentation, I'd said that we would progress from before to after, and we're about to go to after. Right now, looking at the last shot I took of a Pennsylvania position light. 2 days later, they were down. How fitting is this? April 1st, April Fool's Day. The Pennsylvania position lights are down. Nothing lasts forever, does it? Progress marches on. Here we are. I'm at CP Dale in Indianapolis. I've been checking this out every couple days and arrived today to find the Pennsylvania position lights lying on the ground and the new lights cut over and in service, and as you can see behind me, red. Happy April Fool's Day. And here CSX crews put the finishing touches on securing the structure, and then they did some cleanup there with grade. Make it look tidy. A friendly crew. I wish them a good day. A happy April Fool's Day. Well, there's our progress. And the old Pennsylvania position light lying on the ground like so much trash. Toppled over and allowed to crush. No concept that maybe someone might want one of these, for preservation or heck, someone's man cave or something. There it lies. And we'll do a flyover tour of the 4 locations now on either side of the diamond with brand new signal towers. In this view now, we are looking across the diamond, of course. We are looking towards Raymond to the south, major intersection with the track. But we're going to fly over the maintenance of way crews here, tidying up the site south of the diamond. Turned back around, looking northerly again, and naturally towards downtown Indianapolis, as you can well see. And as you look out, you can see that light very easily and very well. And what the railroaders talked about, I see their point. It was a brighter item. And if you looked at the structures, the newer structures are stronger. I mean, which one would you want to climb? The old one or the new one? The new one, obviously. But that doesn't kill the nostalgia. Far from it. Now we're going to swing around and look at the signal towers that replaced the Dwarf lights that were ground mounted. We're looking westerly in this view, and again, you can see that light very clearly. Despite being relatively close to the post, in fact. And now we're proceeding westerly towards Madison, the bridge over Madison. Turn around here, pal. That's the way. Yeah, I dream of being a dancer, too. Actually, my wife dreams of me being a dancer. Alas, no rhythm. What can I do? And there we are, looking easterly towards the Diamond and beyond it, East Street. Thanks for checking out this installment of Bituminous Kole as we look back at the Pennsylvania position lights at CP Dale in Indianapolis. My videos don't usually last an hour in length, but for this one, I thought it deserved it. Come back to Bituminous Kole, and I'll take you to the trains.